Today we're in section 7.3, solving addition and subtraction equations, page 327. Now you'll notice in both sections, 7.3 and 7.4, I'm going to be talking a lot about doing the opposite operation that is connected to the variable. Okay, that's why I say the key to understanding is understanding that you have to use inverse operations. Well, what do I mean by inverse operations? It's kind of like a fancy word. Well, here's what I mean. What operation is connected to my variable? What operation do you see here?
Addition.
An addition sign. So what's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. Here's my goal. My goal is to get x, or my variable, by itself on one side of the equation. Well, in order to do that, I have to get 24 to cancel out. Well, how can I get positive 24 to cancel out to 0? I would just subtract it. I would do the inverse operation. Subtract 24. Everybody agree that 24 minus 24 is 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm good. So now x is by itself on one side of the equation like I want it. But my rule says that whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the same thing to the other side of the equation. So I must now subtract 24 from 30, and x equals 6. And that's my answer. Okay, that's the first step. Now, the benefit to solving these types of equations is that there's a way that I can check my answer and know without a doubt before I turn in my paper that I've gotten them all right. Okay, and here's how I check my answer. You're going to have to do this on your homework tonight. Plug in 6 back into the original equation where x goes. So is it true that 6 plus 24 is 30?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what you show me. You show it substituted, and then you say 30 equals 30, and you check it out. And you box in your checked answer. So on each one of your homework problems tonight, you will have 2 boxed answers. You'll have your answer, and you'll have your checked answer. And then that will complete the question. Okay, now I want you to solve this one. Y plus 10 equals 38. Go ahead and try to solve for y the same way that we just solved the last problem. Very good. So I need to subtract 10 from both sides. That gets my 10s to cancel. And y equals 28. Very good. And when I plug in 28 back into the original, is it true that 28 plus 10 is 38? All right, so 38 equals 38, and it checks out. Who got that right? All right, awesome. We're off to a good start. Okay, now let's do another one. Okay, this one involves a negative, but I'm pretty sure that you guys will be just fine. Let's go ahead and solve for x. Okay, so what do we do to solve for x? What do we do to solve? Subtract 6. Well, what's negative 12 minus 6?
Negative 6.
Nope. Yep. So what is it? Negative 18. Negative 18. Same sign, add and keep. Same sign, add and keep. Now, when you plug it back in, negative 18 plus 6, now it becomes different sign, subtract and take, and yes, negative 12 equals negative 12, and it checks out. All right, who got that right? Negative 18. Good, good. Good job, guys. All right, moving on to example 2. Now in example 2, we're solving a subtraction equation. So now there's a different operation that's connected to my variable. Now it's subtraction. What's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. So how am I going to get negative 18 to cancel out? I need to add 18. And whatever I do to one side, I do the same thing to the other side. X equals 53. Okay, am I done? Nope, I've got to go back and plug it in. All right, so 53 minus 18 equals 35. You can use your calculators to check if you need to. 35 equals 35, and it checks out. Okay? All right, so basically, guys, it's the same thing, except now I'm just doing a different operation here to get my variable by itself. All right, so let's solve m minus 6 equals 8. m minus 6 equals 8. All right, so what do I do to solve for m? Add 6 to both sides. And then what's 8 plus 6? 14. Plug it back in. 14 minus 6 is 8. Who got it? M equals 14. Who got it? Raise them high. Good job. Good job. Okay, here's another one. Who's going to get this one right? This is a challenge. All right. X minus negative 4 equals 12. What do you do with a double negative? Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Okay, try to figure it out. All right, so what happens to a double negative? It turns into a positive. Rewrite it. Rewrite it. X plus 4 equals 12. And now it's clear. What do you do to solve for X? Subtract 4 from both sides. X equals 8. X equals 8. Now, here's the thing. Some of you guys got the right answer, but your work was wrong. You're not going to get full credit. Okay? You're not going to get full credit. All right, one more. M minus 10 equals negative 15. Okay, so what do I do? What do I do to get M by itself? I add 10 to both sides. All right, now, is this, hold on, is this same sign or different? So what do? Subtract and take. It's negative 5. Negative 5. Subtract them. 15 minus 10 is 5. And then when I plug it back in to check, negative 15 equals negative 15. Who got it right? Negative 5. Okay, good. All right, one more example. Yes, yeah. Okay, one more example. Now, in example 3, before I can solve for the variable, I first can simplify some terms on one side of the equation. What do you see that you could simplify or combine? What can you combine? 16 plus 5, which gives me what? 21 plus A equals 25. You have to rewrite it, guys. Don't try to do this in your head. The more you try to do in your head, the more you open yourself up to making a mistake. Please write this step down. Then it's very clear to see what do you need to do to solve for A. What do you do to solve for A? Subtract what? 21. Subtract 21 from both sides. A equals what? 4. A equals 4. And then you can plug it back in and check just like you always do. All right? So simplifying like terms. Simplifying like terms. Can you do a couple? Yeah. Can you do one with decimals? No. Yes, you can. All right, guys. 3.4 plus b minus 1.3 equals 6.8. Try to solve this. Okay, 3.4 minus 1.3 is? Negative 2.1. 2.1. 3.4 minus 1.3 is 2.1 plus b. Now I subtract 2.1. B is 4.7. Okay? Guys, and I need to see your work. I need to see that you're subtracting 2.1 from both sides. Make sure you show that.
I had purpose of actually adding.
Okay, let's do one more. One more problem. All right, what if I ask you, now, why is this confusing when you first look at it? Because it's, the equal sign's in the front, it's backwards. So here's what you can do. You're going to have some homework problems like this, but all you have to do is you can just switch it. You can flip it. So it's the same thing as writing it like this. 15 plus 2x minus 5 equals 20. A lot of my students prefer doing it this way. So if you prefer it too, that's perfect. That's fine. All right, so they just go ahead and flip it. But make sure that 20 is by itself on one side and everything else is on the other side. Go ahead and solve. So first thing I do, what's 15 minus 5? Oh, one thing we do need to take out, because this is not until 7.5. Okay, so what's 15 minus 5? Sorry. What's 15 minus 5, though? It's 10. Okay, yeah, so let's erase that because, that's a two-step equation. We'll get to that 7.5. Then I just subtract 10 from both sides, and x equals 10. All right, now, the one thing I wanted you to just see from this one is when you have the problem flipped, because you're going to see that on your homework, okay? Sorry about the 2x. That would be a two-step equation. Okay, so if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 7.3.